Pulling an audible.
Yay. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no, and I totally, like, if you watch Joe Crazy's when we evaluate, I don't even know if he posted it up yet, but when we evaluate this, I totally just lost it with these guys, because it's like, yeah, crabs, yeah, with weapons, yeah. Actually,
man, I'm stoked.
So, and I got an interview on this, Jeremy, because I know this is your stuff.
This is my stuff. Yeah,
we'll
I
get
wrote the bio behind it.
We'll get to the card stats in a second, but first let me read the bio, because this is one thing I did not read through. I haven't read through this, so
okay,
I need to read through this, because I was asking questions on the podcast about it, and then just like, no, Ryan, that's not how it is. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I actually need to read what I'm talking about then. So okay, so yeah, we're looking at Molten Crustaceans here. The battle of all time leaves little opportunity for participants to observe the variety of life across the universe. Though each combatant is instinctively aware of it, Kiri warriors, for example, understand in broad terms what each world contains as they interact with its inhabitants in preparation for the next assault. It's generally accepted that humans are from Earth and orcs are from Gret. But broad generalizations often lead to misconceptions. One of those common being that Icaria contain only dragons. When Aquila, seeking a way to reclaim her lands lost to Utgar's obsidian assault on Steam Alley, had a vision of a species of crustacean in Icaria's land of Pyrola. She initially wished that she'd seen one of Icaria's mighty dragons instead. These creatures appeared to be mere nuisances, picking up debris along the shore and stubbornly refusing to let go. To Icaria's self-imposed royalty, they were a delicacy, prized for their ability to bleed lava, and a trait only dragons could admire. These crabs seemed wholly unfit for combat. However, Aquila reconsidered. Ultimately, she would summon them to Valhalla, freeing them from their destiny as dragon food. Oh, okay, so they are. Curious to see how they'd fare in Valkyrin. They quickly proved valuable upon their arrival, even in an unfamiliar region where Aquila had no combat experience and where battles often raged amid active volcanoes. She knew the Obsidians were loyal to their lava stone, which was controlled by Utgar, and didn't resent the Moltarns for following orders. It was their nature. But something stirred in her as she thought about how these natural guardians of Valhalla were being exploited. The how do you say that? Dracostaceans?
The Dracostaceans, yeah.
Dracostaceans would be her answer to restoring balance to Valkyrin's elemental forces. Her enemies would be the first to discover that Icaria's power lies in more than just its dragons. I like that. And
thank you.
Yeah, it's a nice introduction to these common squad units. Okay, and what can I say about it? I mean, we get to learn a little bit about Aquila's mind here, how she relates with Utgar a little bit. Obviously, she's fought against him before. There's reference to that. To a battle before. Is there any reference to that battle in past Heroscape lore?
Yeah, so Steam Alley is an actual scenario you can download from Heroscapers right now.
Okay.
If you want to play out the history, it's there.
Okay.
Right. I looked this up when I received the contract, right, to write this character. The very first thing I thought about was, what is Aquila's association with volcanic activity in Valhalla? And there is an entire scenario that plays out where in an area, you have the Vulcanian area where all the volcanoes come from, right? Where the lava set originates, right? That entire, now, and you can kind of just look it up on the map. It's visible on the map. That entire area is all, blackened rock and active volcanoes, and it's just a massive
Right.
mess, right? And it's just
I kind of
ongoing
visually
story.
presented that, you know, in
Yeah,
Tales of Valhalla.
right, exactly.
So, yeah.
And it's still, and that's the thing. Tales of Valhalla helps a lot. If you guys, and here's a new, and I might be a bit of a tangent, but I also will acknowledge I've learned a thing called aphantasia. There are some people out there that do struggle with imagination.
Hmm.
Watch Tales of Valhalla. He does a great job picking these themes, right? Valkyrian is a great place to understand how the volcanic stuff works, right? Watch the scenes where Valkyrian comes up in that show. It might help with visuals. But this entire area is just volcanic, active, blowing up all the time, right? Super crazy place.
Everything changes.
Aquila,
the landscape changes all
yeah,
the time. Yep.
exactly. Aquila is from the jungle. She has no idea how to fight in an active volcanic region, right? But the problem is, in the scenario Steam Alley, the Moltarns are on the move. That's how it works. In the scenario, they're charging, and there's this whole thing that plays out with a team mechanic. It's a really interesting play because this map is visually stunning. Why? Because I think it's one of the I think it is the only one that uses lava and swamp.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually official. The official team made this
maps.
before they were discontinued. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it uses lava and swamp, and it's the funny. Like you're just looking at this, like what the heck? How? But it's this.
Yeah, I kind of gave huge reference to that in Tales of Valhalla for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this region where the jungles meet the volcanic territory of Volcaren, this is contested territory between Ukkar and Aquila. Constant fighting, right? Ukkar's forces are the Moltarns. He has their lava stone. They mention that in the various scenarios. And this lava stone is a sacred thing to them, right? And as long as Ukkar controls the lava stone, he controls the Moltarns. That's how they tell the story. So obviously Aquila is outmatched. She has no idea what she's doing. She can't fight in volcanoes because she's from the jungle. And the Moltarns are moving in this scenario in this Steam Alley. This was one of the last scenarios to come out, by the way. Chris Dupuis was the one that got this whole thing and was planning it. It didn't come out because Heroscape got discontinued, but he still made it, and then he launched it later. And it's now, you can still get it on the phone, but it came out after discontinuation, right? I read that stuff. I read that lore from what he made, and then I put it into this bio using the Steam Alley and continuing the fight. So Aquila's like, okay, well, we were struggling in Steam Alley. We weren't doing good because they Moltar. What can I do? What can be my counter response? What is my counter response? Well, then she drinks the water, right? And obviously this is happening. You have to remember, Age of Annihilation takes place 10 years, right? That's that 10th year of the war, right? Swarm of the Morrow didn't take place till 5 years after Rise of Valkyrie, right? So there's a 5-year gap that has not been fully explored yet, that we're still expanding on for you all. There's a 5-year gap of time that you are currently learning about, right? And in that time, prior to the poisoning, right, Aquila has a vision, and she sees these crabs, lava crabs. She's like, oh well, sweet. This is something that I need, but she's like, that's all she's seen is just crabs. And they're useful, and that vibe I borrowed from the Primadon. I did mention that in the previous stream. I mentioned that Vidar, when Vidar saw the Primadon, he was like, what the heck are these monkeys? Like, it literally says that in the bio. But he took a chance on them, and he was like, oh, sweet, they're actually really good. And so I kind of got that same vibe. Aquila's like, well, I need something that is lava resistant. And I have a vision of crabs. I don't know how this is going to work. Let's go with it. And then she finds out that they can arm themselves, that they can literally march en masse and do all these crazy things. Why? Because they're tired of being dragon food. That's literally the point. They're rebelling.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
About the crabs themselves. Do they they're not just like unthinking animals that just do whatever. Do they have a little bit of intelligence? A little bit of intelligence.
The thing to remember, it's not about intelligence. You have to remember, who is Aquila? High Priestess of the Moon Tribe, ruler of Takala. Her first units was what? A giant bug and a group of spiders.
This is true.
Aquila's entire, well, not all her army, of course, because we also have the dwarves, right? We also have the Mohicans. We understand that. But one of Aquila's major themes was wildlife.
This is true.
Just nature itself.
And they develop their own personalities, and her influence develops them. That's awesome.
So this is the wildlife of Icaria. There you go.
Like it.
Thank you. Thank you. There you go.
And I mean, just scrolling down. Anything else you want to say about that lore bit?
I just and to zoom through it, of course, yeah. Steam Alley is a playable scenario. I highly encourage you to check out. True. Now that we get lava and swamp and jungle, you can literally play Steam Alley now. By the way,
guys, we got all the lava we ever.
You literally build that map right now. Yeah. When you lava doesn't come out till August. I'm sorry, I'm lying.
Yeah.
In August,
2 months.
In August, you'll be able to build Steam Alley and play out the scene, and then you get to add the sequel with the Crustaceans taking over. Like that's an option now. You can play that if you want to. That's the way the game goes. It's ongoing. These what do you call them? Flashpoints of conflict that takes place in all throughout the Battle of all. These wars are so difficult because they're happening all over the place, and so the Valkyrie have to constantly respond to multiple scenarios.
Sure.
And I'm thinking of, well, Akila's bordering literal volcanic territory. She has no idea what she's going to do, but now she has a swarm of lava crabs to protect herself. It's awesome because that's an Akila thing. She uses the wildlife to fight back. She's always done it. So.
And okay. So let's scroll down. Now we see them holding. Now they're just not crabs. They're crabs with attitude because they have weapons. And we were talking about this
boiling tension
on Sunday.
Boiling tension. Yeah.
What are your thoughts when it comes to the weapons they hold?
Well, so and obviously like this design existed, and I saw this, and I was thinking of the weapons. My theory, and again, this is only putting that out there. This is not written, codified. You have to also remember that Aquila summoned. And what did dwarves? Right? Dwarves forge weapons. It's not a full stretch of the imagination to think that Aquila has the means to arm wildlife. Like, and to even take it further, right? And I'm helping you all with this is less and more narrative framing, if that makes sense, so you can understand where we're getting from or what we're coming from. Okay, what there's a scenario in Tikala Jungle, specifically at the very end, where you play out like the scenario, and they have it's like the spider relic, right? Spider totem is what it's called, right? And when you access this device, it gives you control over the spiders in the scenario. Like the spiders are neutral the entire time they're playing. It's like 2 points or two armies are fighting each other, and the spiders are neutral. And there's this lore where the ancient lore of the Moon Tribe is that they know that if they hold a kinship with the planet's creatures. They know this. They can speak to the animals. Now, that's just how it's described in the scenario. So, not that it's written out there, and I'm not saying you're trying to do big old reveals, because again, this is a team effort. I'm not trying to say anything without my team behind me, right? So
sure.
Unless the whole team is behind it, I'm not just going to say something. Just look forward to the scenarios, obviously, to all the drops. This is when we can reveal stuff. And in those things, we want you to kind of think on how, and like ponder on how these things are possible. But if there's an entire scenario where you're able to control the spiders, right, then think about how that translates into other versions of wildlife across the galaxy. That's all. Think how previous game modes play out in a living, developing, breathing world that now has 5 more years added to that timeline. What has happened since then? And now we're in the middle of this crazy event where the pirates are trying to take over. And you're like, yeah, there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I think to me, for them just picking up weapons, it just kind of gives them a little bit personality. It's fun. It's
right.
And I had a word now it dropped in my head.
The fun is the point. That's the thing. Yeah. Fun is the point. But yeah, that's
another thing. It's hilarious. It's so darn hilarious because it's like,
do you know how people are excited about these? They're like. And so I actually have a really funny personal story. So now that I am the lore creator behind like being able to give these a basis in the story, right? And we were able to work on this together. Again, this is a team effort. It's not just me. Everybody's working on this. We're pitching these ideas. We work together. We build this stuff, right? I had no clue ever that I would end up going to a game store that happens to be positioned right next to a seafood store. Okay. So what I'm going to do when these crabs come out, I'm going to buy a set and I'm going to take this to the seafood store and I'm going to gift it to them. And they're going to be like, why are you giving us these crabs? I'm like, well, you're a crab store. And I wrote for these crabs.
The crab jokes are going to be endless now.
You see, it's just fun. It's just fun to do things like that. And again, I also did mention, people, and I'm offering all these opportunities for you to kind of just reconsider, but think about it from a broader perspective. This type of character, this very specific type of trope or whatever, this concept fits snugly in Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy, there's so many lava crabs in Final Fantasy. This is nothing to the entire aesthetic that belongs to that franchise and everything attached to what people call it JRPG, but even they don't like that. It's just that entire style of storytelling includes stuff like this. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, Final Fantasy? That was what I was thinking. So just all I ask is if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't forget, this is Battle of All Time.
Yeah,
there are other teams on the way.
Yep.
Yeah, there's other things on. You don't have to paint them red. No. You want blue crab? Go ahead. Because guess what? Here's some crazy science topics for you. Let's get into some things. You know what I said in in Discord. People were like, "Oh, I don't want to." Unpainted crabs obviously is less option because you want the translucent one. Right. Don't forget, there's multiple flow styles of lava in science. They show you different ways that lava, and most of them are black with red crab. So you can do a paint style like that. There's stories in Indonesia of sulfur deposits that catch flame, and it looks like blue lava.
Blue.
You want blue lava crabs? Go do some blue lava crabs.
Yep.
Sulfuric acid lava crabs.
Yep. Dude.
You want green lava crabs? Do you want purple lava crabs? What is your brain telling you to do? Go have fun. Yeah. That's what it's telling you to do. Go have fun. And that's the options. You can do whatever your heart like. I mean, that's why they have an unpainted. Because guess what? I promise you, when I went to SkateCon, you know how many different versions of Knights of Weston are out there? Paint styles? They're gorgeous. I love them. It was such a cool part of being going to see everybody's different versions of those knights. But knowing, you're like, oh yeah, that's a Knight of Weston. No different, still has the same powers. But that one's got. Now I might be misremembering, but I swear someone painted their actual family crest on the Knights of Weston. I met someone. Wouldn't
surprise me, yeah, for sure.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Paint your family crest on a crab.
Yeah, I don't. You should not feel limitations in this game because this game hasn't had those. This is the battle of all time. There are options beyond options. The point is to have fun. And if you're not having fun, then you're missing the point of a game. That's what a game is for. It's to have fun.
And getting into the card, the reason why you'd want to paint a lot of these crabs differently, because you need a lot of these crabs because they are a common squad. And I'm probably going to really nerd out here after I read through this because, like I said, I read through these stats initially on Joe Crazy's channel, and I'm just like, wow. So let's just do this real quick, and then I'll start nerding. Molten Crustaceans. Aquila is Valkyrie General. Draco Station. Common Squad. Scavenger Relentless. Small 3. 1 life, move of 5, range of 1, attack of 3, defense of 3, 45. 45 points.
The common squads are back. They're back. That's the best feeling. And to be able to know that we can get those aspects of Heroscape back in. They're all getting back in.
And for special abilities, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up because then we're just building up here. Climb ×2. When moving up or down levels of terrain, molten crustaceans make double their height. Lava resistant. because they are practically lava. Molten crustaceans are not affected by lava field, molten lava spaces, and do not have to stop their movement on lava spaces. And then we get to the pièce de résistance. Yummy. Volcanic carapace.
No, see, Ryan, you can't say that. They don't like being reminded that they used to be dragon food. So you need to be respectful around the dragon station.
The jokes are gonna flow, my friend.
They're gonna be like, why would you remind us of that? Why would you do that?
This is why, I want to animate these things so freaking much, because can you imagine?
Yeah,
it's like, because I can imagine them, their personalities to where they don't want to be insulted. You insult them, then you have 1,000 of them on top of you.
And I promise you, go check out some videos on those crab waves that happen in when they're all going to the ocean. Imagine that, but they're all on fire. That's basically what's going on.
Actually, and this just came to my mind. Remember Finding Nemo? When those crabs go, hey.
Yeah. You could do something like that if you wanted to. You could do that as part of the satire of Tales of Valhalla.
Oh my
have
gosh.
them doing the haze. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, I'm choking myself. Okay, volcanic carnivores. Okay, I need a drink. Hold on a second. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to this special building because
I got you.
This is when I started to flip. Okay, you begin the game with 3 1-hex lava field tiles and 1 1-hex molten lava tile for every squad of molten crustaceans in your army. And the cool thing with this box, you get the lava tiles from this as an added bonus, which is freaking cool.
Additional lava tiles for every person.
Yep. After a molten crustacean,
you don't have to get the set to play them.
Exactly. After a molten crustacean you control is destroyed by a normal attack or leaving engagement attack, meaning you can destroy them yourself if you want to further things along faster. You must roll the 20-sided die and place one of these tiles onto the space the figure occupied, if the tile fits normally on that space. If you roll a 19 or higher, place a molten lava tile if able. Otherwise, place a lava field tile. Okay, are you ready for me to go totally nuts here?
Okay.
45 points. Say you're in a competitive army build of 400, like around 400 points. You can get 8 freaking squads of these guys for under 400 freaking points. So you can include a hero then if it's like a 450 point armor or something like that.
Now, and my suggestion, here's a fun army that I saw that was played out, obviously, because the thing is, again, I knew about this stuff a while ago, and so I got to see some of the suggestions. Really fun play mode that was going on with the crabs was not all 8 squads for the 400 points, but like just enough squads, and then drafting Awashia's particular build, because Awashia, right, she creates water at the end of her turn.
Right.
So you kill one of your molten crustaceans, right? Dude. Hang out. Just check this out. You kill one of the molten crustaceans. It drops a lava field tile, which is now a option for height anywhere on the map you choose, and then Awashia takes her turn, then drops water on top of the lava. Okay. Now she can stand on it. Now she has height where she wants.
That's a thought. That is an interesting.
That's what
build.
they do. That's what they were doing. They were doing that because think about it, Aquila, right? Awashia is an Aquila character.
Sure.
So if the Dracostations are Aquila, they might, they have options.
That's a cool
that
thought.
work with Aquila's characters, in addition to what you think, right? Because what else do they have? Lava resistant.
Yep.
So build some lava resistant armies. There are multiple ways to use these characters.
Oh yeah.
It's a matter of thinking how these things can play out. But yeah, one of the really impressive combos I saw was using the lava tiles to create insta heights positions for Awashia's Twister attack. Because it's just, Twister attack is insane. I don't know.
Sure.
Again, I've played 31 games of Heroscape in 2 months. Twister attack kept kicking my butt. Oh my god.
This could be a help for her. For that, yeah. I mean,
she gets height where she wants to.
For me, and I'm thinking Squadscape myself, just overwhelming attack, overwhelming common, squad figures, at low point value, to where, like you say, it just this is just what I was thinking initially when I first saw it. Just 8 squads. That is how to like what 8 times 3, 8, 16, 20, 24 of these guys on the battlefield, and you don't even need like all of them. You just like and in competitive battle, because usually, I mean, sometimes you might have, I mean, you usually never on competitive battlefield maps have molten lava spaces. Sometimes you might have the lava spaces that you can stand on until the end of your turn, and then your hero fries. But can you imagine totally like transforming that battlefield? And that's why you need a lot of these guys. That's why I'm saying you need like 8 squads to do that, and just totally rip apart this battlefield and really give your opponent it's going to take some thought. It's going to take some work. You got to position these things in the right way.
This game does have a
exactly. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, or if it's going to be that I don't know how productive it's going to be. All I'm saying is it's possible to do it. It's possible to really screw your opponent up. And at like attack of 3, defense of 3, if you get these guys on height on their molten lava spaces and they stay there, I mean, that's a potential to be, I mean, and yes, they're melee, but it's a potential to hold back an army if you do have like a ranged hero. There's so much potential for these guys. It's just astounding. And for me, I mean, I know the crustaceans, but for me, they're kind of like bugs. And since like,
okay, well, Ryan, I'll. Do you want some validation? I'll give you some validation.
Yeah.
Right. As far as I understand the biology, I think crabs are supposed to be connected to scorpions, so technically, it works out. But it goes very far back, though. Don't forget. It goes
for sure.
We're talking about
I get it.
Prehistoric time.
I get it.
But
absolutely,
there's a
relation,
some sort
there.
of connection. Yep. Yeah, because the legs. It's all in the legs.
Right. No, I totally get it. But at the same time, it's like I think of like for like C3V, you got like the red, you got all these different versions of ants via C3V. The only problem is you can't play that in normal scape. These guys, you can.
This is a character you can play. You can play at the game store. You can bring to the tournament.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I want to see. I would love to see whoever can bring Molten Crustaceans to work. Like, I would love to see how that works. That would be awesome. Because if Molten Crustaceans takes a place, then I could tell everyone, "Oh my gosh, the lava crabs are winning placements." That would be awesome. That'd be cool to see. But that's the kind of stuff that you would have to work out and see what kind of builds you can do.
Exactly, and that's figured out. But that's going to be the fun of it, is figuring out what you can do with them. So
theory crafting.
Oh my god! Just the battlefield transformation type of thing too really is cool. Attack and defense. People may argue like it's too much for attack, it's too much for defense, but you know what? They are literally on fire, not just fire, molten freaking lava. I mean,
they bleed lava.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's crazy.
It's like they have the weapons just to look more scary, but they're scary enough if you're bleeding molten lava out of you. So that attack of 3 and a defense of 3, I think that's more than enough valid. I mean, even if it was an attack of 4 and with like be 50-point army, I think I would be okay with that too. But I mean, right now, I think they're good. I mean, they get elevation, then it's an attack of 4, and they can usually just insta elevation, and it's hard for an enemy to like go up against molten lava or like just the cooled lava tiles. I'm just I mean, like I said, this is a debate between me and another unit, but they are either like the or tied for being like my most favorite things out of this wave. I'm just saying, and I'm surprised. It surprised me, but after reading the cards, just like wow,
they're pretty cool. I like them. I'm excited to see how they play out.
So yeah, so that's taking a look. I guess if we got nothing else to say about it. I know Jeremy's proud of these guys. This is one of his first lore stuff, and I'm proud to be excited. So
I appreciate it. Yeah. I mentioned it on the previous podcast, so I won't like repeat it. But again, my foundation in creative everything, right, was starting off with a fan fiction in the world of Icaria. Like, I wrote one back in high school and then posted it on the forums. the fact that Renegade gave me opportunity to officially make the lore of a planet I wrote a fanfic on back in high school, it's very special, right? I really wanted to take my time with this particular assignment because of that.
Sure.
Because of that association. We're thinking of everything, I promise.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff.
One thing also I like about this artwork too is the weapons. I mean, some people say about the weapons are literally falling apart in their claws. they're deteriorating.
It's really hard to put something in the hands of something that bleeds off.
Exactly.
But, they're very committed to the cause.
Yeah.
Doing the best they can.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to have personalities of these guys, because I mean, I have personality of Morrow, and the regular squads of Morrow don't speak any type of language. They just go, that type of thing. I could do something with these guys and just give them personality. That would be so fun. But yeah, Molten Crustaceans, guys. What more can we say? I'm a fan.